This is part two of why you shouldn't tell everyone about your cargo van business. Okay, let's start it off. We live in a very litigious society. So, what does that mean? There was a study, I think a few years back, or maybe I may be wrong, but they asked how people um, was going to get rich, and the top two was they were going to win the lottery or they were going to win a lawsuit. Okay, so this is the mindset that you need to know going into the cargo van business that people have in the world, in the marketplace that you are serving. That there are people out there who see you again as an opportunity. So, for example, as I'm driving, there was as I am driving, this is my Sprinter cargo van, and here's a car here, and I'm trying to get into the next lane. I turn my signal on, and as I sped up, the car stayed right by me. I sped up, the car stayed right there to where if I was to try to get over, I would be liable for hitting them. Okay, so I was like, okay, maybe it's just me. All right. So I actually slowed down. The car slowed down, but they would not leave this side of me at all. So I stopped my vehicle in the middle of the road. You know what that individual did? She stopped. And this happened to me twice. So I knew that there was something there. There seems to be some type of trend of what is going on. Why am I experiencing this? And so I was on a delivery and I actually saw a billboard. There was a lawyer on the billboard saying injured, and it was a cargo van on there, and it said injured. If it has a logo on it, call me. Okay, so people, by us living in a litigious society, people are being directed toward you to see you as an opportunity. So look out for that. And that's another reason why you shouldn't inform people that this is your cargo van business. Because again, you're not a regular citizen anymore. You are a business owner. You are a corporation. You, sir, are a brand. And you need to be aware of these things. While you're out here hustling and working, there are people whom are out there who are being taught how to get over on you. Okay, so the next thing is trying to promote my cargo van business. And so I was looking at the options that was available to me in the marketplace that I do business in. So I'm not going to mention the names, but this is a huge ad agency who I was curious in doing business with. And to make a long story short, I knew something was wrong when I asked them, an ad agency, what is your conversion rate? And the individual didn't know their conversion rate. Okay. So the reason why I'm telling you this is because you need to know everything. All right. I know a lot of people want to delegate things, but I'm telling you, if you are in this business and you want to delegate tasks to people, people will rob you, people will take advantage of you. So you need to know everything or just the basics so you can have a better understanding so you could start to ask questions. And like I did at the beginning of the meeting, and they didn't even know what it was. So you're going to find out when you're in business. I saw a quote a long time ago, and it was an older quote, and the individual has said that life is just a big do it yourself project. And that is very true. And you're going to need to know this as you are in business, because and what I'm trying to educate you on is the fact that you're going to have people with these big fancy names of these huge institutions, and they're just riding off of the name. Okay. And they really don't know what they're doing. They just want your money, and they're just hoping that you put something in your head and go all in on it, which I did, which it wasn't the fact that to me, I'm more of a research and development type person. I like to test things and see what's the response rate on stuff. So it was a great experience that I went through this. And, again, when you're in business, people are going to see you as an opportunity. So you need to be aware of these things. Okay. All right. So here is another one. I People are going to want to give you advice on what to do with your cargo van business, and they don't have a business. They've never been in business. Um, and so it's very weird, so you be aware of that when people are trying to tell you something. You got to start to think to yourself, hey, what you are suggesting that I do, have you ever done it? Okay, so I had an individual come to me, and this individual claimed that they were a business owner and they were trying to tell me what I should do with my business. And him not and this individual told on themselves, because him not being in business would know what he was suggesting. If you're really in business, you would know this is not what is all hyped up to be. Okay, so that's why, like I told you before, it is very important that you know as much as possible, because once people find out that this is your cargo van business, people are going to start poking at you to see what is it that they can try to get over on you. All right, so here is another one. You're going to have people spreading lies on you. I know this is something like, why would people do this? I'm out here trying to make something of myself, but this is a real thing. Okay. I had a manager who came up to me and shook my hand. I didn't even know who this guy was. And he said, man, when I first got here, I heard so many bad things about you. He said that I was actually going to ban you and get some legal actions towards you. But he said there was something inside of me that said, no, wait. This individual informed me that he watched me for weeks on videotape. He would watch me as I came in and how I moved and stuff and how I was talking. And what it was he noticed that his employees was hating on me. I didn't do anything wrong. And we live in a world today, just by correcting yourself or correcting someone else or being a professional or how you talk. I've had people who had a problem with how I talk. I can't help how I talk. This is just who I am. I've had people tell me who do I think I am, but that's for a whole nother subject. But you're going to have people try to convince other people with power, authority, to try to do harm toward you and to your business. And a lot of times you may not even have an individual, this man who was patient and said, hold up, before I respond, um, based off of what a stranger is telling me, let me do my homework and figure out who this individual really is. And I was very fortunate. But if there was something to come, I would have been ready for it. But I'm just trying to tell you that it's not going to be all roses when you are in your cargo van business. You need to be aware of the dark side of human nature. And I'm trying to give you all of my experiences and as much as I can, so you could just have the awareness. And as these things are coming, it won't throw you off of your game, because the most important part is you staying on top of your game. Okay. And people are going to throw many, many things at you. I was so surprised and shocked that, his people were spreading lies on me. So you're going to have people who really, really hate you. And again, like I told you before in part one, it's not that they hate you. They have deeper issues within themselves, but these people will go out of their way to ruin you. Okay, so I was on a delivery and I was picking up an order. And so there was a young lady who was passing me the order. So as someone is passing you something, what are you going to do? You're going to start to reach out, okay, to grab it. Well, I was falsely accused by a young lady who tried to say that I sexually harassed her. So as I was grabbing the item, She brought it up to her breast and said that I sexually harassed her. Okay. And luckily, the manager was right there. You know what the manager did? And this was a lady. This was a girl who said it, but the manager was a lady. She did nothing. She said nothing. And that really bothered me. Like I told you all in part one before, how I had another girl who did the same thing. And when you don't hold people accountable, and I really think we're at a point now, especially in America or in the West. I don't know where you are when you're watching this. I think a lot of women are just bored and they want to see what is it that they can get away with. So again, you're going to have people out there that are on the spectrum and they're going to be looking out for opportunities. So if you got someone that isn't held accountable and the news or whoever, they're showing individuals that, hey, you can get away with this and you can get attention or currency or whatever. People are going to do that to you if they know that you have your own business, because again, like I said, you are an opportunity. And you're going to realize, like, when stuff like this happen, a lot of people don't want to work. Like I said, we live in a very litigious society. So if you know that people don't want to work, and you know now, since you are in business, that people are looking for an opportunity to get out of work, well, now I'm going to try this guy. Okay. Again, not only are you a big opportunity, but you're a big paycheck for somebody. You could potentially be that. So be aware. All right. So this was before my cargo van was wrapped, but I actually had a customer, and he was a very loyal customer, um, throw eggs at my Sprinter cargo van. Again, many people are comfortable, they're okay with you in their head being beneath them, and they don't know how to process things as you are growing as a business, as a man, as a brand. And again, don't take these things personal. Okay, I know that it is so weird. Do not take it personal. It's They have a problem with themselves. Okay, so again, when people know that you the man, you're going to see some very, very weird things. Okay, so again, I had to get the eggs off of my vehicle. I don't It was a bunch of eggs. I mean, they lit my baby up, but it was part of the process. And like I said, I actually saw the individual doing it as I was coming down the street, and I looked out of the window, and I noticed that this is one of my customers. So you also, what you're going to experience is why you shouldn't tell anyone about your cargo van business is you're going to have people who will stop supporting you, and they're going to think that this is going to hurt you, because again, I can't explain it what it is. I hope as this community grow, more and more people will be able to maybe see it from a different perspective and educate me and others who are watching this, who are learning from this, what it is. But as you grow, people who were, and you got to ask, were they really supporting you? You see? So I had people who just stopped supporting the business because I was growing. And how did they know that I was growing? Because I was everywhere, advertising all across the city, the schools, on the internet. When I got the Sprinter cargo van wrapped, all of these things, when I had a lot of drivers and stuff, I, I this really gets to people. Okay, so I'm just trying to prepare you how things are going to change for you. Okay, and this is a big one, and this is the reason why I don't even use Facebook anymore. People are going to try to find your page, and they are going to write bad reviews on your business, and they've never done business with you. They just hate you. They don't like you. They don't want to see you succeed. And you could call Facebook, email them. They don't care. And so this is another reason why I just don't use Facebook, because I was getting people. I had people who were drivers for competitors. There were other people who were customers in the past. Um, and again, the reason why I'm trying to prepare you for this, so you won't fall into a downward spiral, because these things, they will get to you just like they got to me. But it took a process. It was a struggle to get out of it, and this is why I'm sharing this with you. Things that people will do and they can do and get away with it. And so what the next thing that this is all going to lead to is hate. Okay. Hate equals free advertisement. Hate is going to drive, the more hate that you get, it's going to drive the right clientele, because there's going to be people that's not thinking like these people, and they're going to be like, what's the fuss all about? Who is this gentleman? Who is this? What is this brand? What is it all about? So hate equals free advertisement. So you got to think about it. Like I said, this is the reason why you shouldn't tell people about your cargo van business, but there are some benefits in it when when the storm starts to happen, when people find out this is your business and you're growing on top of that. So again, don't forget that. Don't be discouraged by that. But hate equals free advertisements, and hate will bring you good clientele. Okay, so you're going to have, again, this goes back to the beginning when I was saying that you're going to have people who stop supporting you, and they're going to find little ways to try to throw curveballs at you. So I had an individual, another guy, who was a loyal customer of mine, and he was going through a bad breakup. And this guy called me while I was in the middle of doing his order, called me just going crazy, complaining about my prices, saying that, the word around town is, people don't like you because, you're so expensive and stuff. Mind you, he didn't have a problem with this at all before. Again, he was a very loyal customer. But now you're starting to see a different side out of an individual who, again, is going through a bad breakup, probably failing in school, got some bad news, and, you mix a little alcohol and pills on top of that stuff, you're going to have, you're going to have some problems. And so, again, I'm just trying to get you prepared for how people are going to take things out on you. And then you are going to have to be prepared for when people try these things and not react in a way that could, potentially be a trap. Okay, so this is a very weird one, okay? I've had people are going to come up to you and personally let you know, hey, I use your competitor. Okay, again, I'm not asking them to do business with me, but I've had complete strangers, and some of these people I went to school with, and they would just come up to me and let me know, hey, I use your competitor. I use your competitor. And again, as I learned through a lot of my trials and tribulations, and I'm still learning, it would be a silence, a deep breath, and I would see that you got something else going on and you wanting a reaction out of me, or you think I care. Okay, so again, you're going to have people who are just going to try you. They're going to test you, okay? Because you are becoming, and people are seeing it. Your word is, your name, your brand is buzzing around town, and they seeing you grow. And it affects people. Okay, another one. Any hiccups that you have, people are going to celebrate. Okay, any hiccups, any type of problem. So, for example, this was the time when I was having a lot of problems with my Sprinter van. I would have to, like I told you before, I was spending so much money renting cars. And so people would see me in a rental and think, oh my gosh, his business didn't work out. He failed, and they would start to laugh at me. Just the weirdest thing. Like and I'm not trying to say that I am Superman, but a lot of these things affected me. And this is why I wish I had something like this to prepare me for this stuff. And I'm trying to prepare you for this in this community that we're all building of these things that, any hiccups, any problems. And again, my truck was just in the shop, but they went to the extreme and thought that I'm out of business. I failed. Now, I tell you this not to discourage you, okay? I am preparing you for this one simple thing. Sir, ma'am, you made it. This is what success is. This is what growth is, okay? You are becoming, and people are seeing the growth. They're feeling the growth, okay? So this is what success is. You not only have you made it, even if you're not as successful as you want, you've already made it because you're doing what you want to do. You're earning your own dollar. You are the man, okay? This is the reason why I am sharing this with you and telling you this stuff. And this is what I'm slowly learning on my journey as people throw curve balls at me, or try to throw me off of my game, but you made it. So don't be discouraged. Keep pushing, keep going. This is just a part of the game. Another quick point is the reason why this is so important. This community that we're building is so important. You're going to find out that a big part of this game is all mental. Okay. So I want to share with you why you should not wrap yourself around you being successful. You shouldn't identify yourself with how much money that you have. You shouldn't identify yourself with a title. None of these things are important, because when things get real for you, because they will, all you will have left is you. Now, do you have the stomach for this game? Are you ready for this game? Okay? Because once the title is gone, when the money goes, because money, it comes and it go. Where will you be? How will you handle these things? And this is why it's so important for us to be having this conversation, because I really want you to succeed. I want you to make it. But the biggest thing that you are going to have to be prepared for in this game is the mental part of this game. Okay? So again, once the money comes and goes, the title comes and goes, and the big problems come, the storm come, where will you be? Will you show up? And this is a big part of this game. While a lot of this stuff that you're going to go through, if you see the opportunity in it, if you see the positivity in it, it will strengthen you. You will expect more. It'll get to the point to where you're like, is that all you got? Again, because you are now bigger than all of it. Your goals are now bigger than all of it. Okay? So, thanks for watching. Safe travels out there on the road, and I will see you on the next one.